Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all, it is 2026. Happy New Year. Fox, Happy New Year. How we doing, my friend?
Fantastic, guys. Doing fantastic. Great to be back. Missed y'all. Miss
I know
talking
I
to you weekly. I mean, I know we text daily, but miss talking to you weekly.
I know it's a little different not seeing, your face for like a few months because
Right.
we're, holidays, resting as one should during the holidays. So yeah, definitely miss doing our nightly, not nightly, our
Well,
weekly Thursday nights episode and talking to all you lovely listeners because that's why we do this. So,
for the
and
community.
as Scissor Tail Shirt says here, we're so back. And yes, we are. And we have a lot of fun stuff come up here in 2026. We were able to kind of iron out some details along us here. And we have some fun things expected here for season number 5 of KitSZN. Can't believe it. Can't believe it.
Wow. Just just some guys being bros talking about shirts.
Yep.
5 seasons.
And and over 4 years, topped over five and rated over 500 kits, and we'll easily probably surpass 700 this year if we do it right. So it's a lot, but
But it's worth
but
it.
it is worth it. But we won't be able to do it without these lovely people down below. So shout out to John Hunt, Frank Anthony, Christopher Cohn, John Fuller, Michael Foots, Joshua Duder, Noah Telford, Alberto Aguilar, Jeremy Churchman, Stephen Howard, Ryan McCara, Tim Knox, NF 30, MOS, Kunal Patel, Olive G. Hedgehog, Andrew Towsley, Mad Cat Peel, Ryan Smetzler, Sandy Lester, William Lamb, Dylan Reed. This is longer. Josh, Matt B, David Horn, Luke Loudon, Don Garber, not that one, I think. John Lanford, landlord,
It's
and
John's landlord.
yeah, John's the landlord, and Doug Brooks. Thank you all, as always, for supporting us and the USL show, allowing us to do what we love to do. And
It
the
just keeps
USL,
getting longer, man. That's
I know. I
yeah,
used to remember it being a little bit shorter and I can like breeze through it.
right. It's like gonna spend the first 15 minutes of every episode just going through the list.
I know. But besides helping us via Patreon down below, which is in the link down below in our YouTube, you can also help support us by buying one of these beautiful kits that we worked with our friend Austin at Equip Studios, the Sash of Champions kit. It's black, it's simple, but it has a sash and it has the zip codes of every single champion across the USL from the championship, League One, League Two, W, Super, and there's a little bit of a detail on the back for Hartford's Jägermeister Cup win.
So as the area codes.
Area codes. Sorry, not zip codes.
Yeah.
Area codes.
And like that was we noticed that someone commented on the Discord. It's like, hey, we loved it, but it's the area codes. And we're like, oh my goodness, like there was 4 of us.
And
And
none of us got it.
I don't know who Kaylor talked to before even Austin to come up with this idea. I'm like, oh, these we all missed the fact that it was area codes and not zip codes.
Hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, it
But it's a beautiful kit.
it's beautiful as always. And if you've ever worked with Austin, they worked with us last year, and you know how to get in touch with them if you're on the Discord to tell them how much you like it. So there's that as well. Which you will be seeing Austin more this year as well. Speaking of Austin, just can't join us here tonight.
Boo.
I
Disrespect.
know. It's like people have other responsibilities on Thursday nights. I don't know.
Weird. Makes
I
no
don't understand
sense.
it.
Yeah.
But we have something to do on this Thursday night together here, and that is going over our expectations for 2026. And it's already been eventful. Just teams have already been releasing kits since about December.
Yeah, you can see that in the background of this thing already. And then yeah, it's been busy. Like literally January 1st, boom, Portland.
bam, they were ready. Naples, Boise, Sarasota, Bigfoot of League Two has also released kits already, and even a bunch of League Two teams. So kit season has been upon us much earlier than normal.
It's going to be a busy year, friends. Busy year.
That means more of us. So
Yeah. And that means Scissortail is going to go poor.
I think so. Oh, hey, I think
Love
we
you,
all,
Scissor.
especially if we do another sales deal again. Sorry, Tom, for the Black Friday sales deal. I know your wallet's probably still reeling from it, so I do apologize for that. So,
Hey,
but
rather your wallet go now and then back during season.
it's true.
Because
That's
if you try to
true.
buy other skits, then
Oof, like $120, $110 kits.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Just all the deals.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, see, scissor tail shirt's
Yeah.
already hurting. My wallet's already hurting. I feel that. And I haven't even bought anything yet. So,
Yeah, I mean, I just bought those Lexington kits.
yep,
Luckily, again, they're on sale. They're like $20 each. I'm like, yeah,
crazy deal. Crazy.
you're buying Hummel jerseys for $25,
Yeah.
like authentic Hummel jerseys too.
And the one that I'm rocking, which I'll get showing off here later, was like $30, and it's a Charlie. We all know the quality of Charlie as well.
Oh yeah, like they don't sell like replicas and stuff.
Yeah.
It has like the holes in the back and everything, right?
Yep. Has all of it.
Like the breathable
Yes.
fabric. Absolutely
It
love
does.
Charlie.
So yeah, so it's deal season, it's kit season, and that also means expectations for 2026 season. So obviously for us here, I'm gonna actually put us down the bottom here.
Ooh.
So for us here, there are, I know, trying something a little different here. There are a few things that you should expect from us here in 2026. That is more collaborations here in 2026. Yes, we know y'all love to hear us talk, myself and Fox, but you also love to hear from other voices. And there's a lot of people out there who put in a lot of work from across the USL, from supporter groups to other content creators that we feel we want to be able to work with them and to kind of help each other talk about the beautiful game and talk
Support
about
the culture, man. Support the culture.
Support the culture. Yeah, and that's what it's all about, right?
And actually, I mean, if we're going to talk about, I'm just going to do it right now because our boy Sister Tells, like, he posts some great content. So, like, he's already like commenting and stuff like that. So, if you're on US YouTube right now, look at the comments, follow that man.
Seriously,
Like,
he
I
makes some
enjoy
good
him, and I
content,
don't think he
and
gets enough likes on his stuff.
he is a great example of someone that we are trying to partner with, as well as the other tons of great people out there covering the greatest and biggest league in the world, and it's fashion too. So, you will expect more social media content, particularly on Blue Sky and Instagram here from us, and more non-show related content. So, like, hey, here is us trying to interact with like kits coming out here for the World Cup coming up here. That's not on the show live. You start to see us post a little bit more and just more content, maybe some more behind the scenes stuff off the show, off our Thursdays or off our interviews that kind of peeks into you can't see my face right now, but
where'd he go?
Yeah, I know, I disappeared. But very kind words. Thank you all from Sister Tales. So, but yeah, it's one of those things that we want to make sure we are interacting with the fans, with you, our listeners, and kind of providing some extra fun content, and it peeks into our
lives
and other kit related content, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're talking about trying to get to games and stuff like that to talk fashion with fans, players, whoever we can.
Because I'm going to be traveling y'all this year,
and I will be rooting him on.
One day, maybe when I come down for my yearly trip down to St. Louis, we can interview some people there. Who knows?
Exactly.
Who knows? But more fun content from us here outside of the live shows. We also want to have more conversations about kits in general. So yes, We love having our detailed breakdowns of the ratings, all 100 plus that we do a season. We gotta talk about other stuff here. Is that right, Fox? Like, we've been wanting to talk about some of the other stuff that y'all probably know about or just want to talk about.
Because like we've posted stuff before on Instagram about like this or that and stuff like that, and like having those conversations like, do you like collars or no collars? But like to get deeper into those conversations, like because I mean, we were literally having a conversation earlier about the like the eco side of things, and if we're making too many kits a year.
Yep.
So all those deep conversations we want to have.
Or someone's collections. Like, what does each person's collection mean to each person? And kind of how that differs from person to person, or each person's style. Things like that. And we'll dive into those more nuanced conversations because y'all probably want to talk about that or hear about that or get your opinions about that. And that could be more fun for all of us here, besides just going over at ratings. So
1,000% excited for that part.
yes. And also what I'm excited about here as well is more interviews. As we said, we want to talk more than just the kits this year. We got more interviews plans. So we're talking with designers, kit manufacturers, makers, and more professional clubs. We've done a lot of League 2 and a lot of W League clubs. We still want to increase that. Who we
Which
kind
we
of
want
talk
more
with.
of. Yeah.
We get more of, but we're also want to get and will have some more professional clubs across League 1 and the championship. So looking to, and maybe some of the players as well, if we can try to make something work as well. So basically, more interviews, more conversations is what you get from us. Because we love talking, but you probably don't want to hear us every single week. Constantly.
Just us.
And a great example of that is, see up here, is the Ballard FC Salmon Bay interview I did with Sam Zizette. That one was released on New Year's Day. That was a fun interview with Sam. And you should expect more content kind of like that. And with the new format, thanks to this guy, kind of creating that. So, fun little stuff coming up.
Yeah, I'm just like a really good into graphic design. Just super good at it.
It's your passion.
It's honestly my passion. I do kind of regret like not learning more about it like in college.
I
feel like I have not the conversation we're having.
Not the conversation we're having, but what
Speaking
do you
of more consistency on a weekly schedule, less tangents from Fox.
Yeah, well, no. Tangents are expected, but more consistent schedules is something that we can control. I have been able to work with, so as you also know, I'm a board member of the Fricker Battalion, and our meetings are not Thursday nights this year. So that means I won't be missing a Thursday night. We got Fox here, and we have Austin kind of help out, and plus whatever content we do with other content creators out there. We're going to have Thursday night live shows regardless every single week until we probably drop sometime in like November. Because that probably be what will happen in like holidays. So that's what to expect.
That's so crazy to hear. Like we are going to go from January
to like November.
To November.
I know, and then have like a month and a half off.
Right. Kid season never stops. This is 11 months of pure shirt love.
I know.
And we're here for it, and we're here for you.
Yes. One night a week, we are here for you. And that's also why you'll see in my last bullet point more Austin. Because it's not a sprint here, y'all. It's a marathon. It is a marathon to provide y'all with the content and the detail and the care that y'all deserve and the detail put into these kits that we love to talk about. So, without further ado, we're going to hop into the first lead of the night that we're going to talk about here and kind of what we expect. I have some questions and we'll go over Fox's, my opinion. And we also have some insight from Austin, who was nice enough to even make it tonight, send us his answers to these questions as well. So, let's get started. So, here is with the USL Championship. And who do we have high expectation? And sorry, before I do this, I'd have to be reminded. Yes, there are a lot of teams who release third kits right before the postseason. I don't understand y'all. Like
Makes no
Sacramento
sense.
dropping a kit 3 weeks before the postseason. The grind never stops. You did it, and like that Muezi kit from Oakland was like 3 weeks before the season ended, and no one like it just like how do you people do this? Anyways, high expectations. Fox, I want you to kind of go first. Who do you have high expectations for the USL Championship?
It's got to be obvious, right? First answer for everybody. It's got to be Oakland.
It's got to be.
It's got like it had perfect fives the last 2 seasons. So you can't sit there and tell me that you can't expect something killer from Oakland every year. So another team that I'm hoping will continue. I've loved what I've seen last year. I hope they continue. And I talked about this at the end of the season last year, but El Paso. I
Yeah.
hope they keep the train rolling. uh, with their amazing work that they did last year with Hummel. So that's what I'm really, really, really hoping for.
Yeah. For me, I have high expectations of Birmingham. They have been creative. Something's changed since they moved over to Hummel.
Hmm.
Right? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
They moved to Hummel. Something changed down there in Birmingham. The water changed. I don't know what happened, but they got good at this tip game, and I'm very excited every year about what they drop. Obviously, a little bit of bias here. We got Taylor,
Right.
kind
Our
of
boss
helping
is
us.
telling us to say this one.
But no, they've done some really good things, like the Sprite and Chill kit. It's simple, but like it looked good. The I think
You,
the DeLorean kit was really good.
the
Stars.
Starfall kit? And I go,
Yeah,
the first one you do is the Sprite and Chill kit.
I love that one. That one's like my favorite. Okay, I just bought that one too. Okay,
That
this
one's
past
one of
shop
my
week.
favorites because of how it's making fun of themselves.
Yeah, I love the irony, and it looks like a bottle of Sprite. I love it. It's perfect product placement. So it looks good. And but like the stars fell, their attempt, them even wanting to do Jägermeister Cup kits with like the kind of deer motif, the hunting motif. There's always something creative going on down there, and I always greatly appreciate it. In a league that has some teams going further and further down the template pipeline, and you're starting to see Birmingham set themselves apart, and I really appreciate that. Now, Austin did tell us any team he expects I just about, but something that we will talk about here is I know we all love some Charlie. I have a personal belief that last year Charlie I think either overextended themselves or they were hampered by the clubs that they were working with in year two. Because I think they had a bit of a mixed bag last year. And the question is here, will they recover overall?
Yeah. And so I was talking about this with you too. I don't necessarily feel that I think it was more what you said, hampered by their team. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
There's there's so much that Charlie can do. So when you have a company that can build a jersey the way you want it to build,
Mm-hmm.
and you sit there and you come out with just a white shirt, like that's going to be on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm not going to see whether they can recover or not from last season because I don't think that they have as much say as we like to think they do. Like some of the teams have graphic designer come in and then they'll send it to the manufacturer and then hope that it looks good on a shirt
Right.
versus somebody who is an actual kit designer.
A little bit different.
Yeah, there's a difference. So
Yeah.
it's like I feel like Charlie can stand on their own 2 feet with their high quality like material. We were just talking about that. Like you put that Tampa Bay shirt on and you can go run a mile right now. You can go
Easy.
and physically be athletic in it. So like
Right.
they have extremely high quality jerseys for every team. So I feel like their kit's always worth the price, but it's the design that's put into it. It comes from the team. If the team
Yeah.
gives a poop, then they will be good.
Yeah. And one of the things is also, I think we kind of saw this 2 years ago with Hummel. When Hummel did a few teams and they did really good, and then the next year they like when year two expanded a bit, got more teams. You saw a slight dip in terms of their overall quality of the designs from for one reason or another, as we kind of alluded to. But then they started to rebound again. And I think that is what I expect personally from Charlie, given that they'll probably now have more resources ready to do this and greater dialogue with clubs. Because I can guarantee you those clubs who release some kind of minimal kind of looking kit probably like, we didn't get as many as we did the year before. Let's look at why that was, and it's probably design, probably the creativity put into it, and then they'll probably see a rebound. Just like what I saw, what we saw with Hummel a few years back.
I agree. Yeah, it makes sense to me because I felt like they did have a huge boom this year, and so now that teams are working with them and have understanding of how to get the process through,
Yes,
you know, it should be better quality from every side of it.
correct. So yeah, so we expect Charlie to recover, and also we've also noticed this, and this is a trend that we are very happy with, and we think it will continue. But more clubs release 1 to 2 kits a year instead of dropping three. I'm looking at you, Indy 11. You like dropping every single one except your away kit. Um, and speaking of this point here is soccer, Scissor
Scissor.
Tail again. I love to see Hounds go crazy with designs at the first year. Those classic looking designs here just didn't do it, but I'm also not the target audience. That is kind of one of the things that they were one of my biggest disappointments in 2025.
Yeah. I feel like that goes
Was
with one of the conversations that we want to have with like the community is, are we classics?
or
I
some
feel
sort of a mix,
or
right?
like, yeah, in the back, in the middle somewhere. I'm kind of in the middle most of the time, you know. But if you're sitting there classic, it's going to be really hard to get a 5.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things that I think as I think Pittsburgh fits perfectly into this conversation of racing 1 to 2 kits a year because I think they used a lot of that energy that first year. They nailed it. The bridge kit, the river kit, those were beautiful. I wish I would have gotten them. And then the year two, not the same magic. And I feel like it would have been better if they would have only had to release one of those at a time. So it would have been they kept the black bridge kit and then they released the white one from last year. Or instead of having to do 2 or 3 new ones every single season, I think teams can really focus on crafting an identity on that home or away kit and then having a message year after year instead of doing a blank slate every single season. So I think we'll see some drop offs like we saw with Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And I agree. I think that's the way it should be.
Yes.
That's the only thing I'm going to give props to for the MLS
Yeah.
with their kits. I
From
don't like
day
how they do
one.
the kits, but the one thing I like what they do with Adidas is that every team just comes out with the opposite kit. So 1 year in away, the next year at home, so on and so forth.
Yep.
And but my fear with the USL is that a lot of these teams are going to come out with 2 or more kits, and I think more teams are going to be doing that. And in my little speech that I talked about, it's like it
Mm-hmm.
is a strong way for teams to make money and spread their brand
Unfortunately, yes.
because we are a smaller league. The MLS is known around the world, not necessarily in a positive light, but it is known around
They're at
the
least
world.
known.
Yeah. So like when they took USL, they're like, who? Like, but then you have a Forward Madison jersey on. People know who Forward Madison is around the world
Yeah.
because of the drip kit, and then that people come back to them now, and they come out with they're still kicking butt and taking names with. But to go with your point, they're with Hummel, but they made what 5 jerseys this year, probably. I think it was 5, but the only one that like really hit home, maybe it was
Oh, no, it
4.
was two. It was three kits, but then a few warm up tops. So five
Was it only
total.
3 kids? Because they had the the
There's
the the full kilt kit. They had the flock kit, which
oh,
those 2
and
were
then they
really
also did the ice kits.
the ice kit.
Or
They had was that the home kit?
yeah,
Okay, so yeah, the home with the sash. I like that they continue that. So that was 3 kits. They didn't make a new away kit. They reused an
no,
away kit.
it was
Okay,
just the three.
okay. So, but this is like they made 3 kits, and then like 2 of them were nice, but like when
Hmm.
you keep sending out new kits, they're not all going to be bangers. So you got to be. I feel like that's a waste of material and a waste of resources.
Speaking of, as Austin put it, he thinks teams will continue to carry on. They're starting to see it be worthwhile. As we see here, Madison produced 3 or 4 hits in the season. They're not all worthwhile the effort. The time and energy is saving to skip a whole design process while marketing launch is huge. Plus, there's that environmental benefit as a plus. But realistically, that's not going to be a primary driver. It's just a nice cherry on top to be able to brand it as a green decision. It also saves you money as well. Yes, you spend money to make money, but for a lot of these clubs, if they can probably cut corners on saving energy on kits and still sell it for $100 season instead of having people decide between two, that's still more money for the club.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because then like you say, you're spending more money on the marketing. You're spending more money on the
correct.
production for everything,
Yep.
and then of course for the actual jersey itself.
Bingo.
So
So,
if I
yeah.
don't have to spend $200, because as a fan I can't. I have twin 3-year-olds.
And a lot of the target demographics are either individuals who are single individuals who may not have that disposable income or families who may not have that entire disposable income.
Definitely don't have that disposable.
Exactly. So it just helps everybody. And something that we want to see continue across more teams across the USL. Um, yeah, and then the last one here is one of the big points heading into 2025 was Monterey Bay's open disdain for Puma as they moved over to Charlie, and then their aforementioned leap forward kick game. Because Monterey Bay had kind of been hampered back a little bit by the colors, as stated in their statement last year, and their overall design. They took a step forward in 2025, kind of like what Memphis did, RIP, in their first season with Charlie. And then ultimately, we got some of the best hits in team history before they folded. So, do we expect more Monterey magic in 2026 with Charlie?
I mean, I do. I feel like you have one of the nicest badges in the game. You got beautiful landscapes and everything
Yeah.
in that area. I feel like, and now you have the kit provider that can, follow a dream.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like there's nothing that can hold them back except for themselves at this point.
I would agree. And I think more clubs. I would have them like once again point to Birmingham. Year two, after kind of be a little bit more free with their kit provider, kind of really went loose, and they look good from doing it. So I definitely expect Monterey, and they're on my list to keep an eye on for 2026. Once again, and also I think I'm gonna roll into this. Also, I think Indy 11 will be on my list this year just because of some of the marketing materials released. We might get honeycombs back. We might get some stripes, and we might get some gradients. Don't know the full pictures, but it's on my list and it's on my radar. And I wanted to ask you thoughts. This isn't. Oh, this wasn't earlier question. Who are you keeping an eye out this year? That's not that we haven't already mentioned.
Oh goodness. Who we haven't even mentioned yet. Vegas.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Vegas, and even when they had BLK, they were always coming out with crazy cool kits and stuff like that.
Right.
They were one of the ones that we talked about who they switched to
Charlie. No, Hummel.
Hummel. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was either one. There's one right there on the screen, but it's
Yes.
just cut off from the badge,
It's
from the
Hummel.
brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on my wall. It's Hummel. Yes.
So they switched over, but I think they switched over like last second, and they had that just like plain white away kit. Where like,
And plain gray later on that same year.
yeah, was it the Skyline?
No, it was
Oh, that was like the silver.
the Silver State kit.
Yeah, like yeah, sure it is, buddy. Uh, so they were one of those ones that were like, okay, now that they have talked with the team, talked with the company and stuff like that, then we got the Vegas Lights kit, and like
Yeah.
this is what you expect.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
now that we got that, I have higher expectations for them as well. So I'm keeping an eye on them. But then obviously I'm keeping an eye on Louisville because based off our conversation we had with Jonathan last season, Puma is treating Louisville like we're the top tier in America because we are. Not to sound like conceit or anything, but MLS is stuck with Adidas, so Puma's not getting any teams from there. The USL is the next part up. This is a
Yeah.
championship side. It is considered like the gold standard of teams in the USL. So they're getting a lot of good. The team is getting a lot of good stuff from Puma, but we'll see what that comes in with which templates they choose.
Yeah.
But I'm always keeping an eye on Louisville because I like the other stuff that comes out with though. Like I
Yeah.
have sweatpants and I have sweatshirts and stuff that are really comfortable. T-shirts really soft and only $25 versus like all the Adidas T-shirts they were selling were all like 30 something dollars. So always
Yeah.
keeping an eye out on my team.
Yeah. We definitely got to keep an eye out. And one of the other teams I'll just throw out there that usually does some pretty well kit game is I'll just list them out here. San Antonio, they usually do something pretty fun. Lexington made a bit of a splash last year. See how they rebound, and as well as Sacramento, they always do something a little unique out there in the capital city. So we'll see. Keep an eye out for y'all here in 2026. Speaking of, I want to show you some of this information on all of here. For this one, I'm going to zoom us out. Fox, there we go. So for this one, these are all the kit providers for the USL Championship. Not much has changed per our understanding that we've seen as of this date. Not a lot of teams changed their sponsorship, their kit manufacturers in this past season. This also includes all the expansion side for Brooklyn FC, who's with Piazza, who's been supplying their USL Super League team. So now they're lumped into the list, as well as Sporting Jacksonville, also the Super League with Adidas. So, and with the reduction of North Carolina FC, this is the list that we have up here, with majority of clubs going with Hummel, followed closely by Charlie. That's not much of a surprise, is there?
No, and those are at this point, unless you go with like a smaller brand, those are the companies that if I were making a team in the championship and had the fundings and stuff like that,
Right.
those are the two ones I would go with at this point.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What's also fun and interesting here with this list is you also have a few different providers in there. So you have like Macron with Miami, you got a few Adidas sides, and then you got Under Armour. They're back in with Indianapolis. Again, that is an interesting one for me. We still have a Puma. Well, we have a few Puma, and then we also yeah. But yeah, so and Capelli. So we have all of these kind of different takes on kits, and I think that is important to note. Because I've liked what Macron has done with Miami FC. Their La Cultura kit from a few years ago was one of my favorites ever. And they've done well. Under Armour has been creative with Indy 11, even if you take out the quality. So overall, I'm liking this diversity of thought, the diversity of quality, and just the different designs and colors that we have across USL Championship. And I love
Yeah,
what I see here.
and that's the way it should be too. Like
Yes,
I would never want the league to go to a single company, even if it
correct.
is Charlie, even if it is Hummel. I don't want it. Like
Yeah,
that type of monopoly over a league kills creativity.
yep. And you saw it in the Canadian Premier League a little bit, who have now moved over from Macron to Hummel. So we'll see. We'll see how
Oh,
that works
didn't
up
see
there.
that. I did not
Yeah,
see that. I knew they were all Macron, but I didn't
yeah,
see that they switched over to. But again, I guess we'll see what happens with Hummel. But like,
yeah.
are they all going to be creative and cool and stuff like that?
And what's the downwind effect on the USL Championship in League One? We're primarily Hummel, so we'll have to see.
Yeah.
But speaking of League One, here's what we got. So obviously we got high
So,
fit. Yeah, I'm gonna say this one off the bat. Portland's the biggest one. Um, and as Austin kind of put it, has shown that simple and classy can outperform bold and modern when executed well.
mhm.
And from a design perspective, Portland does simple. They do simple kits. Like they're not crazy.
No, no, they've just been um hoops.
Yeah, there's soups and a little bit of heart repeated on their the hearts kit. Sorry, the bandit kit is what it was.
Yeah.
So um we also think some other League One teams might have noticed this, like the Cosmos, Westchester a little bit. Might have noticed this trend of going a little bit more simple. Because even Madison hopped onto that bandwagon a little bit with their the tilt kit. Even though it was something fun and exciting, it was simple. So, and other
And it was
club
one of our
footballs,
favorites. So
they are one of our favorites. Exactly. Oh yeah, and then also the Triumph with their the classic kit last year, right? Remember that one?
yeah, the blue. Wait. Yeah.
No, it was the
It's like a
maroon with blue.
you're right. See, I knew there was blue in it.
There
Yeah.
was somewhere in it. So yeah, so now the question is, will teams continue to simmer that same type? Will they be able to follow that, like follow suit, and do it every single year? We don't know, but um, my expectations are high for Portland. Outside of this lighthouse kit, um, it is someone I have high expectations for, and my biggest one, honestly, besides Portland, Union Omaha. I think they have my biggest expectations to date. Because I expect them to swing, and when they miss hard last year. So
A
my
lot.
expectations are high for them. See what they do.
Yeah. I was definitely disappointed with Omaha this last season. And again, it wasn't for lack of trying though. So like I'll
No,
give credit for credit was credit what credit where credit is due.
yeah, sure.
So they definitely put in the effort. So I'm not going to say that like they didn't try and blah blah blah. No, there was effort, and I just it didn't pan out.
No.
But my expectations, I feel like is obvious, is Madison. They came out with two absolute bangers last year, and when you talk about USL shirts, especially League One, somebody's going to say the words Madison.
Or Fashion Club at this
Yeah,
point.
Fortiston Madison FC, Forward Madison Fashion Club.
Yeah.
Um, actually, they did decent last year too, in that on field. But and then I'm also excited to see what AV Ulta does this year. They had some really interesting kits last year, so I'm hoping they can like keep that. Excuse me, keep that rolling.
Yeah, and they kind of snuck in. right? Like
Yeah, they're because I mean last year was their inaugural season, right?
it was,
So
yes.
and they had a very simple, modern badge. So we're like, we like the green, we like the badge. It's a nice badge. So we just didn't know what to expect from them. And then they came out and had the um I don't know exactly what it was called. They had all the designs all over it for
Oh, it was
the culture.
their Hispanic, no, their Native Heritage kit that
Yes,
they
thank you.
had. Also, their Joshua Tree kit was kind of cool, interesting, fun. I love the subliminal gray Joshua Tree kind of pattern onto the kit. That's unique. Um,
Exactly.
they did well.
So a lot of people were kind of iffy about that one.
Yeah,
And
but
I
the
was very
effort
pro
that
it.
was there.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. There was effort put in. It was something interesting. It wasn't just a green jersey. So, I'm very interested to see where they go from there.
Yeah, and it kind of leads us into how do we expect the expansion sides to treat it? Do we expect them to treat it like Portland, kind of be simple Portland or Westchester, which did a little bit more of a simple design overall? Besides that third blackout kit by Westchester, a little bit more simple overall, or did they go bold? But even Tetsoma kind of went a little bit more fun with the map kit with the stripes. That was a fun one,
Yeah.
or like Ford Madison. And I personally think, based off of what we've already seen this season from these expansion sites, so like the Cosmos, Sarasota, they're going to go simple. I don't expect a whole lot from Fort Wayne. I I expect maybe just like a black and then their orange and maybe a white. Who knows? I expect something simple from them. I expect Corpus Christi something simple. AC Boise, probably something simple as well. And the Cosmos, same thing based on what they've released. I don't think they go out and go crazy because I don't think that is where their head is this year.
Yeah. Especially as a League One team, when you're inaugural season, you're trying to prove that you are a pro,
Yeah,
organization. You're trying to show the fans around you as well that we are here to play. We're here to play soccer. We're here to win, and we
right.
want you out here to cheer us on. The easiest way to get fans is to win.
Yeah. And especially for Sarasota, Corpus Christi, and Fort Wayne, they were all League Two teams last year. So we already have years of kits history to kind of know what to expect and to look at. Maybe they
Yeah,
don't really care about that as much, and they care about the winning part. Because Fort Wayne was successful, me too.
yeah. Fort Wayne did a great job last season, and I have high expectations of them in League One now.
Hmm.
But also, I think is this a question coming up? Yeah, I have a lot of things where I think that they're looking at a fresh start though with their jerseys
I
because
do too.
they completely rebrand it. It feels like it's a whole new team, whole new history. I'm thinking that they're going to try to stand out. Hopefully, as a
Yeah.
collector, I hope they stand out. But I know again they're trying to prove that they are not that semi-pro team anymore.
Yeah, I honestly think what would be really cool from my perspective is if they here, I'm gonna share my screen here,
Mhm.
is if they found a way to incorporate, and I'll pop it up here. They incorporate, do you see that checkered right there,
Mhm.
that lawn sleeve? And they have had that on put it up here. They've had that on a few designs this year. On a few of their things in the shop, they have done that checkered pattern. I
Kind of
love,
flannel look.
yeah, I would love to see that
That'd
thrown
be
in.
really cool. Very, very Indiana too.
It is, and
Got
you
that
also
Midwest vibe.
it does, and you also see it. I gotta find where it is. You see it. You see a little bit of there. Dang, where is it? I'm trying to find where it is. Is it apparel? Question. I saw it on a scarf, and I'm trying to find where the scarves are at, but apparently I can't find scarves. Anyways, It's there. I would like to see something out from Fort Wayne. And to your point, they may want to do that. It's a different identity from their club. Frank Dolan says Fort Wayne needs to reach out to Kendrick Lamar and try to have him license mustard. I
Mustard.
would I would honestly love that so much. That would be hilarious. And then as well as this from Michael, Fort Wayne better have Cracker Barrel as their sponsor. That would be the most Midwest thing that Fort Wayne could ever do. And I honestly, I would love that. So
Oh yeah.
the expectations are there
But
for
which
Fort Wayne to
logo?
do that. What?
Which logo?
Yeah.
Who are we gonna make mad?
Yeah, right. But no, I out of all the expansion sides, I think my biggest eyes to keep a watch on is Fort Wayne, because you don't know what they're going to do. As you said, clean slate and AC Boise, because that color palette is just mouth-watering. The
Oh yeah.
green, the black, and the purple. You could do a lot with that. And I'm eager to see what else they do. So interesting, right?
Yeah.
And I did wonder your thoughts here about the Cosmos before we get into our last question.
Yeah.
What should we expect from them? Do we expect them to lean into their legacy, or do we expect them to kind of be like, hey, new era, just like Fort Wayne, new era, new brand, see how this works?
Mm-mm. They are gonna milk that nostalgia. They've already done it. Like they literally went to the Pele store to
They did.
for their branding, which is smart. And they showed off all the old ones, and then the new one came out, and we're like, "Wow, yeah, it looks just like the old ones." And like it looks like the NASL one from a few years back. Like
Yeah.
they're not going out of their way to be creative with it. And is it an ugly kit? No, I'm not saying it's a bad looking kit. I'm just saying like it's a old Cosmos kit,
Yeah. It's
and I think for this year, they're showing back out like, hey, we're here, we're back. It's
right.
not a bad idea to sit there and
No.
like, you know, come join us. Remember those good days when Pele was here. Remember back then when we were the kings of the
U.S.
division,
soccer.
yeah, top
Yep.
division U.S. soccer. You know, come be a part of that again.
Yeah. As much as I might dislike the overall simplicity of it from someone who loves creative kits,
Right.
there are only a few handful of teams who actually have tradition. And the Cosmos and the Tampa Bay Rowdies are probably the only two in the USL who can probably lay claim to that. And Richmond and the Kickers, who've been around
Mhm.
the longest outside of Charleston.
And I'm
So,
still so sad that I did not get a kicker jersey from their anniversary.
oh yeah,
If like what 2-3 years back now.
yeah, it was like that. Those are
Yeah.
like 20, whatever. So I think the outside of those three teams, everybody else has no history, relatively speaking, that
Right.
can just lean on nostalgia. Those three teams have it. So
Yeah.
lean into it.
Have it.
They're
Use
the
it.
ones who have, yeah. So, okay. And we will have some more thoughts and conversation about the Cosmos kits and some of the creative minds behind it. So stay tuned for that. But this is to your point a little bit earlier. Third kit saved
Yeah.
a lot of teams, as we talked about with the Kilt kit, the Flock kit, the Ford Madison. Do we expect clubs to do better this season? Obviously, we talked about Omaha, who kind of slapped overall a little bit. They missed. Do we expect clubs to continue using those third kits as their main money
The
makers?
lifesavers.
Yeah, or do we expect them to kind of either balance out the board or kind of just be like, yeah, let's make everything this good quality?
That's a hard one because the way we've talked about it, and I agree. I think you're the one who came up with this, but I've kind of gone into the mindset of this now. I agree to where like the home kit should be more traditional, like Louisville purple
Yep.
and stuff like that. It should be who your identity. Forward Madison got the sash, everything.
Mhm.
Portland, you got your hoops, whatever color it's going to be. But uh, you should know what to expect from a home kit.
Yes.
And then that away kit, you could be more creative with because it just shouldn't be your color. And then that third kit, though, that's where you could have so much fun with.
Yeah,
And I felt like that's what a lot of League One did, especially with the fact that a majority of them are with Hummel. So I feel like it's going to continue that route until it doesn't work.
I think so. Yeah, especially with like Portland, for example, with that blazing kit, that orange, it's out there, but it works with the colors, right? Just like it's supposed to be different. It's not supposed to match with anything else. You're supposed to take a shot. Or with Omaha, with that local rock band, that art, that graphic, that type of art style put
Yeah,
onto the kit.
that graphic.
That's out there, right? That's out there. Or Ford Madison going with orange and black on the flock kit. Or
Actually
yeah,
making a flamingo jersey.
exactly. So while I would like to see teams have a more cohesive identity in their home and away kit, I think with that cohesiveness, you lose a bit of what I personally love is the
Mhm,
creativity of the kits, and that means those third kits are going to be it. Are going to be the banger of the kits, the creatives, the one that people talk about, unless you do it
mhm.
right, like Portland did with this new kit here in 2026. So, because this is their away kit this year.
Yeah, I'm interested. Do you think that like Cosmos, we talked about Cosmos, but like, do you think that they would come up with a third kit? Because they're with Capelli, which we haven't really seen be terribly creative.
But they've also done a
But
lot with like Charlotte Independence, who released 5 kits that they wore this year on the field. So I
right,
think it wouldn't surprise me if they went a more simple route for a third kit, given the Cosmos and what they released with their home kit. It wouldn't surprise me if they're
blackout.
just if we get like a black kit and then one kit would be like a white, just a kind of offshoot, green, white,
Ooh,
black, boom.
they should do like Tottenham did with the white and then the white badge.
Oh
And,
yeah, like a full whiteout, yeah,
yeah, and then lose.
and then lose.
Well, now Tottenham.
Hey, I will say when Arsenal did their whiteout, they didn't also do quite well in the FA Cup either. So maybe it's a cursed
Yeah,
design.
maybe they should not do that.
And when Dortmund did their blackout, they didn't do quite well either. So maybe it's a curse to go all white and all black. Maybe you do need a little bit of color. But but this leads us to the kit providers for the USL League One here in 2026. Again, this is with the expansion sides. And as of right now, I don't know who Corpus Christi is going with as of right now.
Yep,
I
dope,
wasn't
dope
able,
logo.
dope logo, yes. I just wasn't able to figure out who they did it with, and I might need to spend some more time trying to figure that out or just actually look it up more. But barring Corpus Christi, we got Hummel with AC Boise, Cosmos Jacopelli, then we have Sarasota with Hummel, which is technically an expansion. uh, Fort Wayne with Capelli. One of the things that I'm actually a little bit, upset about is Sporting Cascades unfortunately having postponed because they were going to use a different kit manufacturer. It
Mm,
was going to be I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was like Sportwear was who they were going to do. Um, Oh, I had it over here somewhere. Oh, they got rid of it. Oh, it was a Craft. Craft would have been their kit manufacturer,
nice.
and that's a new player. So
Yeah,
you never know what you're going to get with them.
I I I always enjoy like seeing all the other like kind of random ones. Like I always appreciate that. Who it's in League Two. Matt Wolf owns them. Vermont,
Oh, Vermont Green.
Vermont Green. I love the fact that they use like player layer,
Yes.
which I always mumble through player layer. Um, po- um, because like they have really cool like eco-based jerseys and stuff like that.
Yes.
I love it when I see teams that are with like Olive in York. I love it when I see teams that are with Equipped and stuff like that. Like it always just makes, like you said, it just makes the world so much more interesting. So like,
It,
because hopefully Hummel doesn't start getting bogged down by all this.
I would hope not either.
Yeah, like I don't think they will. They are a really big company, very worldwide and stuff like
And
that.
big operation in across North America.
Yeah, so like I don't expect it, but sometimes with luxury you get laziness.
A little bit. Which, by the way, I did look up. It has not been announced who their kit apparel partner would be for 2026, but Corpus Christi had Admiral back in League Two in 2025.
Okay. And Admiral is an interesting one too, so
Exactly.
I
So
I wouldn't mind that.
I would not either. So that will be interesting. Again, keep an eye out on the League One expansion sites and year two for AV Alta, Portland, uh, Westchester. So I think Westchester started to get into a groove a little bit, kit wise, with that blackout kit and trying to do
I
something.
I was always okay with their like yeah, I was always okay with their initial kit though, because
It
I
was
know you don't like
subliminal.
when they well, they're all subliminal.
I
Shut up.
know.
But they like literally every kit's subliminal. No,
It was.
even the badges most of the time now are too. So
I know.
it's not like there's intricate stitching going on through all of these kids.
Hey, maybe that's how some are doing their details.
Yeah,
Maybe I don't know.
that'd be really cool, but I don't think any players would want that.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would keep an eye out on year two expansion sides and see if they can do anything, if they can take a step forward or stay with what they've done. Even with Naples, who has kind of done a little bit fun with their new home kit for 2026. So
Yeah.
be interesting. Now on to probably my favorite lead that we'll talk about here tonight is League Two. We already talked about Ballard. Do we just straight up have high expectations for the teams that we all know about, which is
Yeah.
Minneapolis City, Asheville, Ballard, Vermont? Can't think of any others top of my head. And our friends at SF City. Do we expect those clubs like that to really set the standard across League Two?
Oh, of course. Like these are the ones that are individual teams. They're not really sitting there to sell their academy. Like I feel
Mm,
like a lot of League Two teams are selling their academy and like, hey, look, you can go up if you come
right,
through us,
right.
which is good. But like, I live out here in St. Louis. I'm excited that we have this ambush in there, and actually got their home kit for Christmas, the black one.
Nice.
I know. Uh, so it's exciting to see those teams and stuff like that
Mhm.
uh, do other things. But for the most part, like these are the only teams that I expect anything positive from.
Yeah, and there are some other ones like that will always creep up every year. It's League Two. It's easy to miss, and it's also
Oh, is Blue Goose still around? What's Blue
yes,
Goose
they
doing?
are. They
All
still
right.
are. We also
Just
have
remembered Blue Goose.
we also have some new players who've migrated from the NPSL, such as like Appalachian FC, West Texas,
Yeah.
and a bunch more.
Appalachia was always so disappointing because they were with Puma and they didn't
Yes,
even get cool creative Puma kits. They literally just had
no.
like a yellow Puma jersey.
But with this migration of NPSL clubs into the USLE 2, there could be some new players because I definitely think Vermont and Ballard really kind of pushed some envelopes. 'Cause Vermont's been simple and very similar to the Portland strategy of kind of being more like simple out, yeah, and kind of really just being classy overall look. whereas the other is a little bit more fun and creative. And it's an interesting dynamic, and I'm very curious to see who else rises to the top here.
Who's stepping up their game this season?
Exactly. Exactly. Especially League Two. Just, teams can do it. We'll see what they will.
Oh,
So,
Des Moines. Des Moines, Des Moines, Des Moines.
yes, and Des Moines. They will not. Oh. Oh. I have not seen any of these comments. Oh. There are so many that I have just been missing. Okay. So yeah, thoughts. You go on to the next question. I'm gonna pop up some of the comments here. And kind of do that. So just I missed quite a few.
So you asked the question: can we expect League Two to continue to dominate the men's league kit wise? I have like a asterisk with that because we cannot grade all of League Two.
No.
So we sit there and say League Two is dominating. League Two is not dominating. We find the ones that have interesting kits and we grade those. And then of course they have a better grade.
Fair enough.
Like I felt like this as a public education teacher. If I take my top 10 in my class, like, yeah, my class is the best class. Like,
Fair.
no, I have 22 kids that I have to put into my stats.
I will say it is a little misleading on my part, given that I also know that we only do the top of the top and not the ones that are template city.
Like, personally, I think League One is the one who dominates the league, personally.
Okay. From top to bottom.
Yeah, from top to bottom. Like, if we average all of our scores, if we averaged all 1,000 League Two teams,
yeah,
and the 900 zeros that we would give for those,
probably
the average is
fair enough.
So,
fair enough.
Because we could only name 5 teams. We even forgot Menace.
And we also forgot our friends at Ann Arbor who done some fun stuff up there.
Yeah. So we're only sitting here naming like 10 teams. Like it's not a 10-team league.
There's a lot more than 10 teams.
That's 2 conferences.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
10 teams is only 2 conferences. Hey, and also though with Louisville City is in League Two too now.
So, they are, and I've seen more clubs doing that. So yeah. I think
are they going to have a different kit? No,
probably not. We'll see if they go the Lexington route because Lexington technically got different kits for their League Two and W sides.
Yeah, which I bought.
So, yeah, it's an interesting question, interesting to ponder, and things to kind of pop up. I'll be curious to see if teams continue to do it. And obviously, we'll keep our eye out for everything. I'm going to scour every single League Two team and be like, are you selling a kit? Do you have a social media? Have you talked about it? Because I feel like there are just always a few kits a year that I miss in League Two. And I need
luckily, most of the time, our Discord tries to help us out.
Yes.
And so, again, if you're watching this and you're not on the Discord, please join the Discord. Because it's so fun and it's everything too. It's not just kids. Like we have a channel for kids, but there's League 1, 2, Champ, all talk, all teams, all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Des Moines Menace has a sweater. That's hilarious. Like a Christmas sweater.
I did see that. So before we move on into the women's side, the 2 leads there, I'm going to go through the comments here and just answer some of these questions that kind of pop up. So Frank says, then AC Boise got their home kit. Yes, the one that does look like the tire track went on it. So they did release that kit. So I'm like 20 minutes behind on these questions. Scissor Tails says that Cosmos kit is not a kit in my opinion, just a straight up team wear template, the badge slapped on it. I don't fully disagree, but I'm willing to kind of hear the thought process behind the creatives and kind of where they came up with that, because there might be more to that. I hope there's more to it, because otherwise that is what it is. I hope there's more to it. We'll see. Also from Citadel, FC Tulsa maybe run a fan design contest for the third kit this season. Ooh,
That would be nice.
ooh,
I
ooh.
like I like fan run, like
Yeah.
jersey, stuff like that.
Oh, I love that so much, and that means so, and it's a design contest, so hopefully that means something really creative out of the box, not like, hey, vote between these four already pre-made selections,
Yeah.
and now
Or
go
like,
choose the best one.
oh, actually, speaking of League Two, Lions Bridge, they do that. Like, I love Lions Bridge. I appreciate what they do. I like the fact that they do their season tickets as their jersey. So, like,
Right?
if you buy their jersey, you can wear it and get into the
Yeah,
game. They also sell the bracelets too, in case the jerseys are too much of a financial
yeah.
burden. But they do exactly what you just said. Like, look at A, B, C, or D. Which one would you want it to? And it's like, oh, cool. Which template do I want?
I know, I know, I know. It's like, hey, we have 4 templates to choose from, y'all. Choose your least hateful one. Um, so I do appreciate that. Now this is a fun question from Frank. Prince Tire USL Cup special kits for all teams. I don't know if I'm actually fully on board with that. It's kind of like what you see in Europe right now with like some have like European kits, some have domestic cup kits, but not every team does, and I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah. I like it when teams, if they're willing to do it, but I don't want to
Yeah,
force it on people either. I like that. I
correct.
mean, like if every team decides they want to do it, I'm down. But
Yeah,
like even with the Club World Cup when they came down here, there was all
special
the
kits.
I think they were all Puma, weren't they? But they were all the that one certain designer who came up with the one for Dortmund and Man City.
Yep, 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 yep.
I cannot think of the artist name, but
Yeah, it's stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. I also know there's only so many times teams can lean into that. So like the U.S. Open Cup, there's only so many teams that can do something with about that, like a history kit, and maybe not every year someone can do something interesting about that. So interesting thought. I will like to see if more teams do it this year. So we started seeing like one or two do it last year. Um, And then lastly, Sittertail says Corpus Christi was with Admiral, as I noted, this past season, but all the promo photos so far don't have any sponsor branding yet. So are they going to pivot to the lead sponsor in Charlie? Go Hummel? Go Capelli? Because that's been a thing across League One? You don't really know. So, okay, cool. Glad I'm caught up on that. Uh, I'm sorry I missed your comments. I don't know why it wasn't popping up on my side. So, um, and another great point from Frank, which is actually what I think will more likely happen. The USL Cup is when teams will drop their third kits. I
yeah,
think
that
that
makes
is more
sense.
likely. And especially given the color palette changes between League One and the championship, highly likely that will happen. Especially between like Fort Wayne and Indiana and Indy 11. Who knows if a team if like Fort Wayne decides to do a third kit that game or Indy 11 for their road game to really color differentiate from the home side. We'll see. We will see. But what we will get into is the USL Super League, and this is what I said last year was my most disappointing league from top to bottom. Far too many templates, way too simple overall. But as Austin put it, all they can do from here is go up. And so
Yeah,
I'm going to start with my high expectations. And mine, honestly, is the Tampa Bay Sun. I think they have shown promise and the colors and almost somewhat desire to do something fun. We noticed it with that new warm up top that was released. Um, which was a fun idea. I think it wasn't the best executed, but the idea of that new warm up top that was released, I think yesterday, I love the idea behind it. I'd love to see that put forth onto their actual kits. Like we kind of see with this gradient sun here from the Tampa Bay Sun. That's who I have high expectations for. The others, not as much for me.
Yeah, I'm going with Lexington. So
Oh,
I feel like I'm really hoping that they are going with Hummel as well.
they should.
Yeah, like logically they are. Because it's not the situation like Louisville has, because Louisville's stuck with the NWSL, they're stuck with Nike.
Yep.
But so I'm assuming they're going with Hummel, and I hope that they continue to have their own personality, their own.
Yes.
But I love the fact that they like use the same badge, but they have their own kits. So,
Yeah. That.
oh, Scissor Tail, you're a dozen. Sorry, I just read Scissor Tail's comment, and so
I'll pop
go
up
with
both of them
yeah, go with
because
Frank first.
both of these are really good because I think Jacksonville is one of my bigger disappointments because they almost have that Florida colors, and they did the most basic of templates that doesn't highlight any of their colors to their full extent, and it kind of bothers me. And Carolinas, it was what you had noted earlier. It might be a cool graphic design that doesn't make it a good kit design. And I think that was a prime example of what they did, and it got worse because of it.
Yep.
And now for us, Scissortail's comment here, and I'll let you read this one, Bots. You were already reading it.
Oh yeah, like Dallas Trinity, they have a beautiful badge. You're in Texas, like they have such good colors with like that. It was like maroon, so like you could do so much. Because I mean, like, heck, freaking Greenville came out with the beautiful maroon kit. That's the one you were talking about. Like, and they're not maroon,
I know.
so like you could have done so much, Dallas. But what do
Well,
you
and the
know?
thing is,
What do we
this,
know? What do we know? Nike.
yeah, and there was Nike. And the thing is that they don't even have a design onto it. DC Power, who was chaos, with like their two or three kit manufacturers last year, even have a better design than the Trinity have. Theirs are just the maroon and then the away gold.
Yeah.
That's it. There's not even a design. It's even more like a teamwear idea that they just like, oh hey, that's your color. That's it.
Yeah. It was
Like
very disappointing.
like I know Atletico Dallas when they come up are going to really be pushing the buttons on the men's side. Dallas needs something better because the FC Dallas is kind of hit or miss. If you know what they do, Atletico Dallas may be pushing the envelopes based on what we see with their color palettes. The Trinity got to step up their game. So,
Like I feel like overall the Super League has so much good potential.
yes,
They just have to do it.
I think personally, I am of the belief that um, the Super League is right now more trying to find their footing as an organization from top to bottom and in these teams.
Yeah.
And it's very, very similar to what we saw in the USL. Because we saw this right down here that Frank points out. Great badges, terrible kits. A great example of that was the Oakland Roots. When they first started, they had some terrible, not terrible, their kits did not
They have basic
use,
kits.
yeah, they were basic. And then something switched once they got their footing. And I think that's why Lexington is one of the better looking sides in the Super League because the men's side's already been established for a while. So they don't have to worry about that. And so I think that advantage can be seen there. And the other teams are literally all expansion sides trying to get their footing. And I think it's evident in their kit game.
Yeah, 1000%. And hopefully as the league progresses and goes on, they can be more creative. Because
Yeah.
even Oakland, like you can see that they were trying to, but they were also they were with Puma too, weren't they? So they did like the numbering one, like they had the big O on the back, they had the
Yeah.
mosaic. But
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who they were with.
so yeah, as Michael was talking about, Lexington getting rid of the blame. Like honestly though, even Lexington, like the Nikes weren't miserable.
But they were a little subpar overall. Like it
Oh
was
yeah, like
better effort from Nike,
yeah, it
which
was
is
the best
weird.
I've seen from Nike, but that's not saying much.
Yeah, let's say it's a low bar. So, but yeah, I think to your point, as teams more dip more into their footing, I think this third question that I have on here, teams having more third kits, will naturally happen.
Yeah,
Um, because when teams get more comfortable, they realize what they can do. They start realizing how much of a fan base they have. Then they're like, bam, here comes a third kit. Because we just started seeing this season specialty warm up tops, the pink ones for breast cancer awareness that released here in October,
hmm
and then that new one from Tampa Bay, like yesterday. So you're starting to see more of this, and teams starting to actually DC Power finally having a shop after after how long they've been a team. So I think these clubs are starting to get their ducks in order, and I think the creativity will come. Just not
yeah,
right now.
yeah. I'm not 100% sure if there's going to be a bunch of teams coming out with third kits. I feel like they're still building the league right now,
Yes.
so it's definitely going to be 2-3 years away until we start seeing that creativity
Exactly. Yeah.
finally hitting.
Exactly like the USL Championship did.
Yeah.
Because when we started, there were a lot of templates and not a lot of third kits.
Oh yeah. I mean, as a Louisville fan, we started in 15 and the league was already established before 2015. Just
Yeah.
I didn't know about it. And no offense to old school USL fans. It's just it wasn't in my city, so I didn't know about it. I feel like
Yeah.
now people at least might have heard of it if they're in the soccerverse.
Yes.
Um, and but like literally every team just had some sort of template kit. There was no real creativity to it. And then like we would come out with usually like some sort of blackout kit that had like black with
Yes.
purple gradient or something. I'm like, oh, this is so amazing. But now we see Hummel, we see these things like, oh, I want that.
Yeah. I think they're a great example of a team that's kind of had templates from day one, and yet because of their color choices, they were able to get away with it. And the fans just like, you know what? It's fine with us. Like Phoenix Rising in the championship, they've always had templates, but I don't hear a lot of uproar.
Yeah.
In Indy, though, they will
Yeah.
crucify you if you just go white, and which is why they swiftly moved on from Puma and went to Under Armour 2 years ago.
Yeah. I will say, yeah, if we just came out with just another white kit, if you notice, we only had white kit for 1 season, 2 seasons, 1 season, 1 season, because that was 2 seasons. I keep lying. Because once we came out with the gold and white stripes
Mm,
in season 2, that was our third kit. That
yeah.
became our away kit for the
That's
options.
right.
And then the other white, like we would come out with white kits, but when it was like more of an ice kit, it had like the gray and white and stuff like that.
And
It
then
was
last
never
year was the white with the purple waves.
right. So it was never just a plain white kit.
Yeah. Indy failed that, and it got the worst score in USL history. So,
Yep. It got a
deservedly
perfect
so.
score actually.
Actually,
Perfect
I
0.
think there were some that day, but worse than a 0. But the Super League is not quite there because there are still some good looking kits like this Tampa Bay Sun kit there. Now there is a breakdown here of the Super League. Um, it's a much smaller list, but a lot of teams with Capelli. So for a lot of those suspension sides like Fort Wayne FC, who are with Capelli, look at what they've kind of done with DC Power, what they've done with the Ascent, and what they've done with Tampa Bay, what they can do, and as well as Loudon in League One for inspiration on what to expect. So there are some decent ones in there. Like the Carolina Ascent last year was pretty solid. 24 was really good. Tampa Bay Sun, they have some potential. And then we've also kind of seen with DC Power actually get somewhat of an identity on their kits, and a little bit of a pattern. So there's a myriad of ideas that can come with all these designs. And our friends at Diazda, who shout out to them for having Brooklyn, by the way. That's just a cool thing to know. And if you follow the channel, how many times we talked with them and see where they're at now.
It definitely, if you're on our YouTubes and stuff like that, go find that interview with them when they talk, because we did an interview with the owner and how he got them. It's such a cool story. So definitely make sure you check that out.
Yeah. And they have some cool stuff too. So I love seeing this. There's also a bit of diversity in their kits here, as you can see, with only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kit manufacturers. That's a pretty good ratio, if you ask me. And now, lastly, this is going to be kind of similar to League 2, except the W League has more expansion sides, I think, compared to League 2. The W seems to get new teams with new branding as affiliates of the men's side. And I think that kind of helps keep the intrigue. I'm talking about the Ivy. I'm talking about Raleigh Madison. See up here. You tend to see the Liberty. Yeah.
Yeah. Greenville Riveters. Pittsburgh.
Yep, the Riveters. So you tend to see these unique identities on the women's side. So outside of those, some of those teams with their own identities, there are some high expectations in this league. And one of the biggest ones for me here that I'm going to straight up say is that Minnesota Aura, the team that's pushing for a professional team, particularly the NWSL, they're continually pushing the envelope. Made this man cry last year during an interview with Cassidy Sabinski, the designer of the Minnesota Aura kits. And they're constantly pushing the envelope, doing the work, and really making the W League almost a professional league in a way, in name only, given everything about it. So I have high expectations for the Aura of Minnesota.
Yeah, same. I have high expectations for Madison. One, because this one already came out and absolutely fell in love with it already. So that's not fair. Yeah. But on the other side, I talked about Pittsburgh. I actually really liked what they did last year. I know it wasn't your cup of tea.
It was not.
But I feel like you could appreciate what they were doing.
Yeah.
And that dedication that they were coming out with the schematics kit and representing Rosie in different ways, that I hope they can keep going with that. Hopefully they don't run out of creative ideas for that.
Yeah, and I think that is one of my things here with some of these expansion sides, which leads me into point number 2. There was a little bit of a decline. And I think one of the problems I personally think that the W League has kind of ran into is while they try to lead into this like female-led, let's honor the powerful women in our history in our cities, after they do that amazing idea, what else do they have as an identity for their clubs? And I think the Ivy have done good with that. They've stuck with the Ivy, and every year they've been really creative. The Liberty kind of died off a little bit with their designs. It's a little bit. But I think clubs like Minnesota Aura, they have done well with just having something that isn't just tied to the women's side. like the Borealis, the lights, the quilt, or as Asheville with their quilts in the on League Two W side. And I think clubs that are able to build an identity and then every now and then doing something to honor the women, the history, and all of that, you tend to then have a complementary design that can continually produce something that's creative. Like if this is Madison's only thing, only nod to it, and then they do something really creative that really just talks about Madison in general, I think it will be better long term creativity wise.
Yeah, and I feel like just as like kit appreciators, it's easier for us to appreciate when the kit itself is appreciating its city, its players, its town, its culture. So I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
but especially when you're an inaugural team and you're saying like, "Hey, check out the women's side," you are kind of selling
Oh, you
that
are.
that woman power, which is good to sell and definitely should be continued to hyped. But I can agree. Like I'm going to talk about this forward Madison or not. Sorry,
Yeah. Rally
Madison Rain,
Madison.
Rally Madison. I thought it
Yep.
was
Rally
it's not Rain.
Madison.
Okay, Rally Madison kit because it's still giving a nod to what forward Madison has been doing with their hoe kits with the
Exactly.
sash. And then the flower on it is this very specific flower that has to do with Madison. So love the fact that it's not just a pretty flower because we're girls. No, like there's reasonings behind it. Same
Yeah.
thing with what Racing Louisville did uh inaugural season. I know it's NWSL, but with inaugural season, they came out with the lilies kit because we
Yes.
have the lilies for our races.
Yeah.
So our horse races. So like there was reasons behind like choosing what flowers we're choosing. There's
Yes.
more than just saying like, oh, we're the women's team, we wear flowers. Like I think more men's teams should be having flowers on their kits.
I don't disagree there. Don't
Yeah, so
disagree.
then it's not a weird like, oh, the women's team wears flowers and the men's team doesn't.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I think what a lot of clubs try to profit off the hey, we're a women's team. Let's do something that's more feminine or a little bit
Right.
more attracts to them instead of just making something that looks good, objectively looks good. And I think you started to see that with some teams, and I think some of them who didn't know where to go design wise. And I think more clubs will going forward, especially from the Liberty. I think they will recover and rebound, and I think more will. I just think it's a matter of okay, the market's changed. We need to change our approach. Let's adapt.
Yeah. And honestly, Greenville kind of fell off a little bit this year, just as a whole.
Yeah,
Triumph. Like Triumph came out with the nice
classic.
classic kit,
That was
but
good.
that was the third kit. That was later on in the season. There are other kits. There was it like a park,
Yeah, it was like
uh,
Pride Park, which
Pride
was a
Park.
cool nod.
Yeah, but like a lot of their other stuff that they were giving nods to for their city, for their area, were still falling short. So I'm not going to put too much on Liberty individually for that because the entire city, the entire organization was kind of failing in my view.
Yeah, I will say,
Yeah,
when it comes to Rally Madison, Austin goes a clean slate will be probably really good for the Rally Madison side because Ford Madison had produced so many kits. I want to emphasize that in bold letters. Um,
what?
I know, uh, and so it could do really well. Um,
There's
yeah,
so many
it's just
kids.
interesting. Oh my god, there's so
Yeah,
many comments.
I know. I was talking what Ryan was talking about. He was talking about like the butterflies and the bees for Muhammad Ali. We actually had a Muhammad Ali scarf
Hmm.
a long time ago, and like I don't know if there's certain rules that you have to do to work with Muhammad Ali uh,
Yeah,
family or the foundation. I just wish they would continue that relationship.
yeah. I think that's something that you could easily foster into to kind of just talk about it, right?
Yeah. As I
And one
said,
of the
like,
other, yeah,
sorry, just I'm gonna keep on that tangent for a second because
no.
if anything, so as a Kentucky boy, I personally feel like Lexington has been trying to dig into that like Kentucky identity. You know, they had the bourbon kit. They every year even their simple home kits are something to do with horse racing.
Yep. And then the
Uh,
ice kit
and
with
then
the
of course the
university.
icicle kit for the Kentucky Wildcats. So they've really been digging into that, Kentucky Pride stuff that Louisville has not tapped into, even um, outside of the fact that we've been template kits.
Yeah.
Like we had one year that we had a Muhammad Ali thing. Usually we do have some sort of bourbon collaboration with
Yes.
makers. Like actually have a Maker's Mark bottle that's purple dipped and has the dual logos, has the racing and city logos on it, and it's signed by both coaches. So
Mm,
my parents got that for me as a
nice.
surprise. So because it sucks not living in Louisville anymore and being a Louisville fan, I can't just like hop on over to the liquor barn and buy those.
Yeah.
So like there's like been like every once in a while like there's collaborations, but it's just like a one item thing here, one thing there, and not like in a full kit or full like line. We did do the my morning jacket one though.
They did. And
That
and
was
then also the keep Louisville weird, right?
yeah, the green ones. Yeah, so there's a couple collaborations that trying to represent Louisville. I just personally maybe I'm just looking at the kits, but I feel like Lexington's doing a better job at that.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially with the women's side, really kind of crushing it too. Both on and off the pitch.
Oh,
Design
they are
wise.
destroying on the pitch right now.
Yes, they are. What I'll also say, another club that we forgot, thanks, Frank, is Salmon Bay. They did really good inaugural, and I think that this is one of those things that gets into the first point. Can they continue it? Ballard's done well at continuing the trend, but will Salmon Bay continue that? Just like expansion sides in the W League have done well the first kits. They've done well to be like, hey, here's us, here's our colors. Do they follow up with that? It'll be interesting to kind of keep note of. And then also soccer Sister Tail says Tulsa and OKC have said they plan to field women's side in the future. It will be very interesting to see how they look, and how much if they get treated like the Indy 11 side, where the women's side just an offshoot, or do they get a different brand identity, or even a Lexington approach, who they get their own kits for different
Yeah.
leagues. It'll be
I
interesting.
I always prefer that. Like I agree with what you were talking about how like in the 11 this is a club. We are a club. Duh. So every team should have the same badge. We are representing this badge, this crest, this team,
Yes.
this club.
Yes.
But I like the idea of what Lexington does is that the men's get this kit, the women's get this kit. Sometimes it has different sponsors too. Like I
Yeah.
know Lexington women's at first had the big ass fans uh sponsor with the big donkey butt on it.
Yeah, they did.
So stuff like that just makes sense to me. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. I also like what we've noticed from West Seattle and even Ballard Salmon Bay. They shared an alternative kit. So there was a bit of a shared history, but then they also have their own stuff. And
Yeah.
I think if they keep their own, if they have the same crest, but then instead of doing like inverse, they have one or two, like they could share the same home kit, but then maybe have their own alternate, their own away kits, because the lead color combination will be different in each of them. I don't know what that could look like, but I like the idea of having a shared identity and sharing something, but then also having your own pathway to be different. But it doesn't have to be completely different branding.
Yeah.
It is an interesting thought experiment for clubs and what is different. And I will say this. Scissor Tails, one of the first away fans they interacted with were Louisville fans, and the bourbon they brought to share was absolutely incredible.
We know our bourbon, man. We know our
You do
bourbon.
know your bourbon. You do know your bourbon. So yeah, let us know if there are any other W side clubs that we should keep our eye on. Obviously, I will keep an eye out on our friends at Sioux Falls, who did really well last year. So glad that they moved over from the WPSL, and to see what else to expect from the W League, because there's a lot of teams. It's hard to keep track of all
Yeah,
of them.
it's like League Two. Like there's just thousands of each one.
And rapidly expanding compared to like League Two is somewhat more established, so there's not much expansion. The W League churning out new teams, which I love to see. The women's side needs more teams, but yeah, gotta keep up. So what I will leave y'all with here is the overall across the professional teams, the main composition of kits. So we have majority of teams across the professional ranks, the 3 professional ranks, the Super League, League One, and Championship. 36% are with Hummel. And then number 2 is Capelli at 21%. That to me is surprising. Capelli being number 2.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that Capelli has such a strong hold on USL.
Yeah, few teams in championship, few in League One, and definitely on the women's side in Super League.
Because like,
yeah,
because to me logically it should be either Hummel or Charlie because both of them were league sponsors, so they were the ones that you got special discounts with when you joined the league. If you wanted to switch over to these teams, you got special discounts, got special programs that they did, and yeah, so it's kind of shocking to see Capelli digging their grasp in there.
I know, which I kind of do appreciate because then it really hones in. You know, Hummel Loki is really capturing it. Charlie needs, as this point puts out, more women's side. Charlie's primarily on the men's side, outside of the Oakland Soul, which is a great shout, by the way.
Oh, Soul. Well, disrespect to us. Sorry about that, Soul.
Yeah, so like, that's the thing. Charlie is mainly on the men's side for right now. It'll be interesting to see if they can branch more into the women's side. So yeah, but all these will be posted on our socials, so you can look at all the information that we have as of right now. I will update. I will keep Corpus Christi as nothing for right now because they haven't officially announced. But
because they are nothing.
They are nothing. No, they are sharks. They will probably eat us. So that is kind of what we expect from the USL here in 2026 and what you can expect from us here in 2026. But what will stay the same here in this year 5 will be our favorite segment of the year, of every episode, is our kit show off time. Fox, what are you rocking here tonight?
Man, I am rocking some Lex Vegas, man. Some
Lex Vegas.
Yeah, Lexington Sporting Club. Classic Nike. They had a special sale during Black Friday and got this, but then they came out with the sale this week. $20 jerseys. So I got that bourbon kit and got the W League kit.
Nice.
The black one. So that's exciting.
Nice.
So
well, I also dipped my toes in a Black Friday deal.
Yeah.
And I got this 50th anniversary Tampa Bay Rowdies kit. I had to get the white one. The green's too much to me. The home one. The green on the green, too much for me.
We could have been more closer twinning. Like, we did not coordinate, like, hey, wear green. So, no. But we could have been more coordinating if you got the green one.
I know, but I did want to rock this one because I do have the Added Time Outfitters Tampa Bay Rowdies one, so I had to wear this here tonight. So, and show off my new ones. So, yeah. I know we talked a lot here tonight, hour 40, but we had to cover 5 leagues and what we expect from all of them. This will be segmentized so we can share this much more easy for everyone on social media and for all your friends who are interested in certain leagues and certain clubs. So, Fox, anything else here before we wrap up tonight and get started on what should be a great year?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I love you all. I was excited to see like so many people commenting. First, I thought it was just us as Scissor Tells. So just excited to see our boy Michael back and see Frank and Ryan. A lot of the classic names that we know and love. But this is the best part about doing the show is sitting
Yeah.
here having conversation with other people.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, and that's when we always love and appreciate everybody we did interact with. That's the best part about doing this. The community is great, fantastic, and everyone, I mean everyone, has an opinion on kids, and I love that so much. So I'll let this man go to sleep here because he's a teacher. He's got to do teacher stuff, and I
Yeah.
don't. So I'll let this man go to bed. And I will see y'all next week when we have a special interview, which will be announced here later next week. So join us again, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, for our next interview in episode 2 of KitSZN. Until then, farewell. KitSZN's back, baby.
We love y'all.
Good night.